So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is the summer research community. Some of you were registered by your mentor and you're saying, why am I here on this Thursday morning? And so I want to talk a little bit about what our goals are and who makes it up. So what is our goal? I think Lisa spoke eloquently to this, is we want to help you all build a community of scholars across disciplines and across institutions. I am always, I don't know how I continue to be surprised, but every year I am surprised and impressed by the breadth of things that students are working on in their summer research projects. And we might get into our own little silo and hole and think that chemistry is the only thing to do research on, or physics is the only thing to do research on. And then you hear about something that is completely different. And it's like, it's just inspiring. And it really helps to build a community across these disciplines. As I mentioned to a group not that long ago, I know of no important problem today that needs solving that can be solved within one single discipline. And so in the future, you're going to be working with people who have completely different perspectives, completely different disciplinary backgrounds, different ways of thinking and knowing. And so learning as soon as possible how to talk with people from different disciplines, how to see how different people express their curiosity is so critical. So you'll learn that research just takes different forms, uses different approaches, but I've learned that it always comes from a place of curiosity. There's an itch, there's a question, there's a problem that no one else has gotten an answer to yet that you are really interested in. And sometimes it might be a question other people have answered, but you just don't know the answer yet. And therefore it's still an unknown. And so it is still research for you to come up with that answer. So we're going to meet here on Zoom. It's the same link every Thursday at 9 a.m. to address some different area that hopefully will help you be more effective researchers. And even more importantly, we'll be giving lots of opportunities for you to meet other researchers who are either just starting out or who are further along on their scholarly journey. So in a little bit later, we'll put up the full schedule so you can see what those topics are. Okay, in a few minutes, I'm going to give a little bit more detail about who's here. But first, we're going to hear from you. And we're going to use what's called the chat waterfall. I've heard other phrases. That's the one that has stuck with me. And so I'm going to post a question. And I'm going to ask you to type your answer into chat, but don't hit enter until I tell you to. So it gives you a chance to type. And then when I tell you to, you'll hit enter so that we'll see a waterfall of wonderful responses. So first question, I'm just curious. The thing about Zoom is we have no idea where you are, especially people who have different backgrounds. And so we learned that one person is on a bus in Scotland when they signed in. So I'm excited to hear where everybody else is. So where are you Zooming in from today? So type it, but don't hit enter yet. Okay, hopefully everybody has had a chance to type. 1, 2, 3, enter. Lots of Boise's. Okay. If you haven't gotten it in yet, feel free to still add it. Okay. Next, we're going to look a little bit about who makes up this community. And before I advance my slides, I want to ask you for grace and forgiveness. We compiled this information at the last minute because some of you were just getting your mentors this week, and we're trying to collect that so we can honor all the mentors and we can honor everybody. And so if there's mistakes, which I'm sure there are, I accept full responsibility and just give us a little bit of grace there. But we'll talk about researchers from two different in our office, and this is sort of artificial, but it's just the way that we help categorize where people are of cohort programs and what I'll call individual researchers. So research groups, cohorts, are usually funded by some kind of agency. So whether National Science Foundation, National Institutes of Health, other organizations. Each student is usually associated with a very specific research project, working under a distinguished faculty mentor. But the cohort programs often have some wraparound, some additional community building and professional development. And we are excited that those of you who are in cohort programs that have included SRC as part of that community building and support. And so you can wave or put your thumbs up or something if you're in one of these groups. And often these are the folks who were registered by their faculty mentor and suddenly got a Zoom link saying, by the way, you're coming to summer research community. So we're grateful that you are here. Next, we have what we call individual researchers. Nobody's actually an individual researcher. It always takes more than one person to do research. But these are the folks who are working not through one of these organized cohort programs. The faculty mentor might have created their own cohort of their lab, and that's wonderful. But these are folks who are doing research someplace in the state with a faculty mentorship. And these are the different disciplines that we have categorized from the registration sheets, and we might have missed yours, and we apologize if we did. But I love seeing the wide range of where people are doing research. This is the slide that as of yesterday, mid-afternoon, of who we knew were mentors. And again, we might have missed some of you, and we apologize. And if we spelled your name wrong, we also apologize. But I just want to take a minute to look at this amazing list of people. Faculty are busy. Summer is often seen, Lisa mentioned what was the reaction when you told people, what are you doing for the summer? And you said research. And faculty often wait for the summer to get their research done or to take some fresh air break. But these faculty are using their summers to help mentor undergraduates in their research. And that's an incredible lift and an incredible gift. And so I really want to do a shout out, because we cannot have undergraduate research without faculty who lean in and really take care of our undergraduates and guide them and teach them and inspire them. So maybe everybody can unmute and give a round of applause for or a hoot to our faculty mentors. Thank you. Here's where we have from our registration sheets where our students are from. And when I say students, I'm going to try to be inclusive, because otherwise it gets very clumsy. We have middle school and high school students. We have undergraduate students. We also have some teachers joining us this summer who are using their summer break to also learn some research techniques and new research discoveries that they can take back to their classrooms and help inspire the next generation of secondary school students. And so I'm calling you all students because for the summer, actually, we're all students all the time, just so you know. So we have teachers, students, undergrads, graduate students, and mentors. We represent 9 different states of, where students came from to do research within Idaho. And the research from the summer research community is happening at 5 different Idaho colleges and universities. So it might feel like we are very Boise-centric, but we really reach beyond Boise. Okay, so now we're going to learn a little bit more about you, and same idea within chat. So I'll post a question, type it, and I'll tell you when to hit enter. Okay, where are you doing research this summer? Where is your actual research taking place? Ready? And go. As I said, we're lots of Boise State this morning. Ooh, on the sagebrush. Okay. Next, I can. So students, we know that we have students visiting us from other institutions. Where is your home institution located? So this is for the students who are visiting Idaho for the summer. Where are you actually studying for your degree? Ready? Set? Go. Scroll and look at this. Welcome to those of you who have traveled from Texas, California, Utah, New York. We hope that besides doing wonderful research this summer, that you also take some time to explore our beautiful state and our beautiful city and valley. And at the end, we'll be talking a little bit about different ways for you to take just a little bit of time and enjoy our beautiful surroundings. We are very proud of where we live. Okay. I'm moving my mouse. Okay. So I'm interested, what is the area? So what is your major? Not necessarily what you're doing your research in, but what is your major? But for the faculty, what is your home discipline? And you can go when you've written it. Thank you. All right. And students, what are you researching this summer? And as soon as you've typed it, you can enter, because some of these take longer to type than others. Okay, I can't scroll fast enough. Michal, can you help me? There are some amazing things here.
Yes, there's lots of things that I will not be able to actually pronounce correctly, but there's computational modeling of semiconductor thin films. There are all sorts of things in computing and computer science, lots of biology and chemistry. I'm seeing lots of elements that I really wish I could name.
The one that caught my eye was the effects of beaver dams on songbird diversity and density. It's
Right.
like,
I want to know what pea larvae are and how they infect honeybees. That's amazing. That's great.
I mean, it's just, I, I think when people might have looked at what majors people were in, there was a somewhat limited sense, and you think, oh, okay. And then you look at these topics, and it's just fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have some mentors here, and I'm always interested in how many undergraduate researchers have you mentored, including this summer that you're mentoring? Because I know we have some who are just starting out and some who have been doing this, and I'm like always impressed. So when you've written your number, yeah, God, Sophia, 45 plus. Okay, Michal. Don might win. Thank you, faculty, for continuing to mentor. I think Daniel might win.
Needed to do the calculations, sorry.
Okay, students, we want to hear from you. What is one or two goals that you have for the summer? And after you've typed it, you can hit enter because it takes a little while. Make sure all of them there. I encourage you as you're writing these goals into chat that you also jot them down for yourself someplace and put them away. And late July, pull it back out and see your progress, or maybe pull it out every week or so and say, am I making progress towards the goal that I set for myself at the beginning? There's lots of research that shows we're much better at actually achieving our goals if we are conscious of those goals and remind ourselves of those goals, because it's super easy to be distracted otherwise.
And I also suggest that you take a look at other people's goals. I think there's a really broad sense here of people who have very specific goals about maybe getting a paper published or learning about a specific method in a lab. But a lot of these goals can be really applied to any research that you do and to any experience that you have this summer. Great job, everyone.
And now, mentors. What's a goal or two that you have for your students this summer? Love that. These are great goals. Thank you. And mentors, I also encourage you checking in with your students through the summer and see how you are on the path to achieving these goals with them. Okay, I think I have one more. I can get my cursor to be where it should be. Okay. Enter one word about how you're feeling at the start of this summer of research. This is for everybody. I love all the excited. Yep, nervous and overwhelmed is normal. You're entering a new experience. Sleepy. And I'll say for people who put anxious or nervous, really, especially if you've never done research or if you've never worked in this particular setting before, and especially if you're visiting Boise from outside, that is completely expected. And give yourself time. And I have found the best way is just meeting others who are feeling similarly and asking lots of questions. Research is about curiosity. And so if you feel like you don't know what's going on in your research setting, ask. Just asking questions is a wonderful way to learn and to calm down. Okay. So one way to meet others and to enjoy our wonderful setting is a new activity for the summer. And so, Michal, would you like to tell us a little bit about this?
Yes. Hi, everyone. We thought it would be fun to have a weekly gathering for those of you who are interested, where it's just an informal gathering. We'll go for a walk either along the Greenbelt or maybe somewhere downtown if there's something exciting happening. So every Wednesday we'll meet at 5 p.m. at the Friendship Bridge. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Boise State campus, the Friendship Bridge is located right on the river and is actually pictured in this in this image. It is right next to the lawn that's between the library and Riverfront Hall. And we'll meet there at 5 p.m. And we'll meet every Wednesday except for, I believe July 4th is a Wednesday. Or maybe it isn't July 4th, but July 3rd is a Wednesday. We're not meeting for SRC that Thursday, so we'll likely not meet for this walk. But I look forward to seeing some of you there. It'll just be a walk where you can meet other students. Mentors, you're also welcome to join. The idea was to have this after hours so that folks can have a reason to leave the lab and sort of get outside and experience our wonderful weather, which is wonderful at some point in the summer. I don't know what's happened this week, but yeah. So I hope you'll join me and others. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm easy to find on the IFITS website, so you can email me there. And I'll put my email in the chat.
Great, thank you. And there's no need to RSVP. There's you don't have to come every week. So it's just really very informal of a way to meet others and to get a little bit of exercise. And the Greenbelt is just a wonderful place to do it. So thank you.
For the record, power walking will not be required. This will be a stroll, but those of you who want to power walk can power walk ahead of us.
Great. Another chance to see part of what Idaho has to offer outside of Boise is a rafting trip. This is organized every year by our outdoor recreation program. And it's a small additional charge. I'm going to warn you of that. It's not covered by the program, but I think it's about $55. And they cover everything: transportation, life vest, I think a snack, etc. And it's a guided raft, so you don't have to worry if you've never gone rafting before. It is suitable for anybody. And unfortunately, the registration deadline they gave us is coming up like immediately, like Saturday, because they need enough notice to make sure that they have the guides and folks ready. So there is a sign-up sheet, and thank you for putting it into chat. And so there is a limit of how many people can go, so definitely don't delay, but hopefully we will fill it up because it's a great experience. And from past summers, the students who have gone have absolutely loved it. That picture is way more aggressive than what the actual rafting is. It is a pretty, I mean, you go, it is not, it's like the lowest level with a little bit of fun.
Yeah, this picture just looked like fun, so that's why I put it there, but that is definitely not the Payette, so you're good.
Right. It's the lower part. I've done it when my kids were small, so really and I am not a boating person, and it's still fun. And it's a great way to cool off because you do get a spray and you can go into the water if you want to. Okay. Okay, so this is our schedule. And as Michal mentioned, the week of July 4th, we take off because we figure a lot of people are traveling. And so today it says May 1st. That is not correct. I don't know how many times I proofread these slides. It is May 30th. It just feels like it should still be May 1st because I don't know what happened to the month of May. but the rest of the dates should be right. So we are starting out next week with networking. And it will be not, I know the word networking sometimes gives people the heebie-jeebies, and really it's just talking with each other and getting to know each other a little bit better. Then we'll have a session on ethical conduct of research. And because we all want you to be ethical researchers, and it's done with a lot of fun stories and scenarios that come from our history of when researchers have misbehaved, and can you identify different forms of misbehavior? Then we'll have research stories is some of our graduate students who participated in 3-minute thesis will come and give you their 3-minute research talk, very similar to what Aviana did this morning, and talk about their path to getting to graduate school. We'll talk about effective research posters because we're hoping that you'll all present at our conference at the end of the summer. And so we'll talk about what makes an effective research poster. And then we'll talk about how to communicate your research to people who are not in your field. So you'll learn really well with your mentor and your lab group, if you're in a lab, of how to talk to people who understand what you're doing. But how do you talk to the public? How do you talk to someone who's not in your field? How do you explain to your grandmother or your cousin what you're working on? Is a great way to learn how to communicate. And then we will finish the summer with the Idaho Conference on Undergraduate Research. We love acronyms. It's known as ICER. We are back fully in person for the first time since 2019. And so we are super jazzed about that. It is here at the Boise State campus. And it's 2 days of workshops, talks, and poster sessions where you get to present your research. The deadline for that, actually, I think I have, here we go. So it's July 17th and 18th. So it's the week after ICER. It's week after SRC finishes. I'll get my words right. One important date to know is we are not meeting the week of July 4th, but the deadline to submit your abstract and that you are presenting is July 3rd. You have until the actual conference to actually get your poster finalized, but July 3rd is when we need to have you submit your abstract and all the information so that we can be ready for you. And we'll be talking about that throughout the summer to make sure that you're all ready. Okay, so a reminder about next week. We'll be networking. Michal, do you want to say anything about this since I think you're running this one?
Sure. I'll just say that, as Donna mentioned, this will not be your typical networking talk. And I really look forward to helping all of us conceptualize networking as a truly sort of immersive and positive experience. I myself is an extrovert, but I'm surrounded by introverts. So this is also, there will be a special sort of like networking for introverts part of the presentation and of the actual workshop. So I really look forward to interacting with everyone and to really getting everyone engaged with the idea of networking.